Okay, Fight Fan, special guest, friend to the show. It's good to always have him on. Our guy, Mr. Oscar De La Hoya.
What's up, champ?
All good, all good. How you doing, man?
Good,
Great,
man. Good to have you on.
Beautiful.
As always.
Beautiful.
You're looking like, I don't know, 10, 12 years younger. You're glowing all of the time. You got these creams that I'm going to need to start ordering.
He rubs holly all over his face. That's what he does.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Oscar, I want to jump right into it. I'll tell you why, because I'm getting 20, 30 messages from friends and family saying, should I purchase my ticket to Vegas on April 15th? Is Tech Ryan happening? I need to know. I'm like, I don't know. And I said, you know what? Oscar, I know you just put something out saying the fight is done. Until the official announcement, I never really buy into that until it's official, but I got to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, should my friends purchase plane tickets to go to Vegas?
Well, I can say this. Look, we have the contract in our possession, and it's a long form. It's very detailed. We are just gonna have to cross the T's and dot the I's. That's basically it. So, can I confirm? Obviously not, but until it's official. But as a fighter, as a promoter, as a fan that wants to see the fight, yeah. I can assure you this fight's gonna happen. I mean, Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. I'm telling you, they haven't wanted an opponent the way they want each other. They want to go out there and just, because all the talking and all the crap and this and that has been going back and forth for quite a while. So now it's time to put your money where it's at. So
in other words, all of the terms are agreed on, right? But you got to look between the lines and make sure everything is on the up and up.
That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is. Look, both guys are starting their camps, and as we speak, we are going to start revving up the engines for the promo tour. So it's going to be massive. Yeah. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, this is a big fight. We cannot deny. But first off, Oscar, I want to say I'm surprised you got a shirt on. One, and everybody's talking about your abs, Oscar. People are saying, people want to know, are they from a store or are they from doing crunches? Which one?
No, look, it's they're obviously my abs, but
no doubt.
I have this amazing doctor who does this like sculpting and etching of the abs. It's kind of like lipo, but etching. It's like, it's crazy. They're my abs. I've always had abs ever since.
But he brought them out like a painting.
It's crazy.
It's in 3D.
But you have to eat right. You have to work out. You have to keep so it's just a little push for me to get motivated, to stay on top of my game. Hey, come on. 50 hasn't looked this good in a long time.
Wow, listen, Barack, you're always cracking on my stomach. I'm about to have Oscar abs. Now I know I can go get those, you know what I mean?
No. See, Oscar has abs already. That's the thing.
I had some when I was like 15, 16. I had some.
There's somewhere down there.
Listen, I want to talk about Gervonta Davis's performance. I was in D.C., and I know he fought a guy who has a decorated amateur. Even though he was coming up one weight class, he was still a credible opponent, guy coming off of two big wins, right? So I didn't think it was going to be an easy fight to begin with. No. I thought it was a solid performance. What was your take on Tech's performance?
I thought it was a solid performance, given the fact that he was champion, given the fact that, his past performances, given the fact that he was a bigger guy. But I was actually surprised. I was surprised how at times Gervonta had difficulties, keeping him off or catching him. He was getting tagged a few times. I'm not saying that his opponent wasn't at the elite level, but he's not at Ryan's level. So when I see Gervonta fight, I love the guy. He's the most explosive, entertaining fighter out there today. And that's why he sells arenas. Right. But when he's gonna face a Ryan Garcia, who's a big kid, who hits like a mule with both fists, who is fast as hell, who is gonna fight tall, who is gonna keep his range and his distance. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a great fight. I think that the fact that Gervonta is aggressive is gonna make it for an entertaining fight. I think Ryan, holds his spirit and in his heart. He carries it on his shoulders. So I feel that this fight is gonna be it's gonna be a war, man. It's gonna be a lot of energy, a lot of good energy, inside the arena, inside the ring. It's going to be one of those special fights, special events for boxing.
Yeah, there's no way that this fight doesn't live up to its hype. There's no way.
Oh, no way.
There was a time a few years back where you was like, obviously my fight is young. Ryan's not ready for a guy like Tank. What fight was it that changed your mind and said, oh no, he's ready and he's going to win?
It's just the evolution of the fighter. Just all he needed was time. Mm-hmm. Every fight is a growing process. Every fight is a learning process. It's you learn something new every single minute. Yeah. Every time you're in the ring, whether it's a 1 minute fight or whether it's a 12-round fight, you're learning, constantly growing. And so, Ryan is right there. He's fighting the very best now. That's what people wanted. So, he's ready. He's ready. I mean, I know there's a video of me saying, Gervonta Davis is dangerous and this and that, but that was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Well, now a lot of people, since I've seen the evolution of Ryan as well, we become friends with him. We even went to his camp in Joe Gooson's gym, and he looked phenomenal sparring with guys out there. I love what Joe has done with him. One thing that's out there, that there's a narrative that Ryan tends to make a couple of defensive mistakes outside of combinations when he pulls back, right? Against a guy like Tank, that could be dangerous. Is that trending in the right direction? Meaning those defensive mistakes, are they getting better to your eyes?
Oh yeah, he knows exactly what he has to do. He knows what he has to correct. He knows what he has to use in the fight, and that's going to be the secret weapon. Like I said, he's fast, he's powerful, he's explosive, and I think his Ryan Garcia's work ethic is by far one of the very best. I mean, you see this guy, and he's always in great shape. He trains hard. Yeah. He's gonna be up for this fight. There's no bigger fight out there for him now. Therefore, Ryan Garcia, we will see the best of Ryan Garcia.
All right. So since Ryan didn't keep his date, he chose to stay in camp for Gervonta Davis. You got Alexis Rocha. He's headlining now, but I hear that he has a new opponent. Yeah, George Ashi from we found the last minute opponent, and I wasn't actually too happy about finding this guy because it's a dangerous fight actually. When I heard that he's from Ghana. Yeah, right.
When I heard
you have flashbacks. You was like,
when I heard he's from Ghana, I'm like, okay, this guy's the real deal. Right. He's got a decent record, a lot of wins with 5 losses, but he's never been stopped. He's never been dropped. And just the fact that he's a fighter from Ghana, those fighters, they have heart, they have discipline, they have, when they get the moment, the opportunity, they try to seize it, unless you're to go, but but we have a great card. I mean, I'm excited to watch Rocha, who's already knocking on the door for a world title. Who knows how many fights more, but I think he's right there. And I'm excited for Floyd Schofield. I'm really excited for Floyd. Mm-hmm. I think Floyd is one of these throwback fighters that beautiful story, by the way, grew up homeless with his father in the streets, literally. And so, he's 12-0 with 10 KOs. He's in a great fight with a Puerto Rican fighter, Alberto Mercado, who has a great record. It's a great step up. It's for an international title, but you watch, Schofield will be, he will be a threat to anybody at 135.
What was it about Schofield that actually pulled you in? What was the first time you laid eyes on him in the boxing ring?
I think it was his work ethic. I mean, he's in the gym 24/7, and everything he's doing right. You know, I mean, he's throwing the right combinations. His footwork is incredible. He has devastating power in both hands. The last time we put him on DAZN at Fantasy Springs Casino, he was headlining, and he was up against a very tough Mexican kid who's never been stopped, who's always gone the distance, you know, who has had a good record. And Schofield just went out there and just demolished him in one round. And that's exactly what you have to do. You know, when you have an opportunity on TV in a main event, you have to go out there and prove who you are. And you know, and Schofield didn't disappoint. I mean, he is the real deal.
You have another fighter on your stable that's a superstar and explosive fighter. And his name is Virgil Ortiz, right? A name that's always synonymous with his is Boots Ennis, whom I also saw on the Tank Davis card. He had a lot of backlash because he couldn't get a guy out of there. In my opinion, the guy was really surviving, didn't want to get knocked out, didn't engage as much. Were you impressed with his performance? Were you excited and said to yourself, I think Virgil can beat this guy? What was your take on Boots Ennis's performance, and how do you like Virgil against him?
Yeah, no, I think Boots is a great fighter. I think you know, he's coming up. He's proven himself. He's getting better. You know, he had a difficult outing, but that's what it takes to grow as a fighter. You know, he's a dangerous fighter for anybody. You know, yeah, that eventually down the line, that's a fight that has to be made. You know, I mean, Virgil has a fight already lined up, which we're hoping to reschedule in about 3 weeks or to a month, with a very dangerous puncher. And I think that fight there with Virgil Ortiz can be fight of the year, because these guys are just gonna bang.
But stylistically, Oscar, if Virgil were to fight Boots today, how does that fight play out? I mean, obviously I have my guy winning. Virgil Ortiz is he's a complete fighter, man. He's just learning, he's growing, he's getting better, stronger. You know, Boots fighting anybody will make it difficult. He's that type of talent. But obviously fighting a Virgil Ortiz when the time is right. You know, when Boots, you know, beats a big name, a major name, a significant name, you know, then we can go out there to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium and fill it up. You know, that's the idea I have. So look, as these guys continue to fight, maybe in 2-3 more fights, they're going to have to face each other. I mean, the best has to fight the best. That's it.
Right. Well, speaking of the best fighting the best, a young man, he grew up in Brooklyn. I know him since he was a kid. He's a free agent now. Is Edgar Berlanga. He had that knockout spree for like 16 first-round knockouts in a row. But now he's a free agent. Would you be looking to sign somebody like him, or maybe match him up with Munguia?
I would know exactly what to do with Berlanga. I know exactly what he needs. You know, he needs a Bernard Hopkins. He needs a Golden Boy. He needs that type of team to keep him focused, to keep him hungry, because he's already a machine. Yeah. People already love watching him. He's already selling out, you know,
the theater
in the Garden. Yes. Mm-hmm. So what he needs is a team, and the team he has is great. I love them, but you know, sometimes you need people like a Bernard Hopkins, somebody like me who can tell you exactly what to do, or give you pointers, you know, how to train, how to stay disciplined, how to stay focused. You know, there's nobody better than Bernard Hopkins. But aside from that, we have Jaime Munguia. We have Zurdo Ramirez, if he wants to do a catch weight. We have Beck, who he can fight. You know, guys like that, I mean, would be exciting. I mean, but Berlanga, I enjoy watching. You know, he's Puerto Rican descent, and you know, loves his Boricuas, and so I would love to sit down with him and map out a plan for him to take him to superstardom.
Right.
Speaking of Munguia, what do you think? I mean, he's obviously an exciting fighter. Tons of fights. People have been crying to see him against the guys like Triple G, guys like Charlo. What has been the barrier there? Why can't those fights be actually made?
Well, you think about Triple G, for instance, right? He's just coming off a loss with Canelo. You know, that's a big possibility. A fight with Jaime Munguia and Triple G. I think both guys have to prove themselves in a way, right. And I think that fight would be perfect. I think that's the fight to make. We've already reached out to Triple G's people. I strongly feel that Jaime Munguia is ready for anybody. It's a little difficult to make fights with him for some reason because all the fighters that he can fight are with PBC. And so what I'm very optimistic about is that making this Ryan Garcia fight with Tank, we can start working together and make the big fights happen. Imagine PBC and Golden Boy getting together and just making huge fights, huge, big fights. I mean, the fans would eat it up. The fans would love it. So that's my goal for 2023 is to make Jaime Munguia the best fighter possible and to get him to a world title. But first and foremost, I want him to fight Triple G.
I want to circle back around real quick, before we get out of here about Ryan Garcia and him and this new deal. It's already out there, right? The terms that the fight is going to be reduced and broadcasted by Showtime, but still able to be distributed through DAZN. Now, we all know that DAZN and they've invested in Ryan Garcia, right? He's the young star outside of Canelo and AJ. He's the guy. So some DAZN subscribers are disappointed in that. We don't have no involvement in that. Down the line, if there's a rematch clause, is it going to be flipped the other way? Is now DAZN going to be the head broadcaster for the rematch? What is that structure like?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, obviously, DAZN as our partners, we fought very hard for DAZN to be involved. I don't think people know how difficult it was to negotiate with people like Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza to get this done and to include DAZN, who has been very good to us. And to the boxing fan, especially here in the U.S. I think that if DAZN wasn't involved, we wouldn't make this fight happen. That's just the bottom line. Right. DAZN helped build Ryan Garcia with us. DAZN gave him the platform. DAZN invested a lot of money, so it's only fair. It's being a smart businessman. You have to treat your partners correctly. So, Ryan Garcia winning, it just flips everything around. I mean, we're all here in the driver's seat. That's the bottom line. So it's up to Ryan Garcia to perform. It's up to Gervonta Davis to perform. We cannot fight for them, but we can make sure that all the pieces of the chessboard are all in place, and all you have to do is call checkmate at the end of the fight. That's all we can do. So it's up to the fighters,
Absolutely. All right, Oscar. Speaking of Al Heyman, you fought to get DAZN a part of that. I appreciate that. I remember 10 years ago in the Bleacher Report, they had an article and they had you number 14 as most influential person in boxing. And recently, I think it was a few years ago, 2019, it was Mike Coppinger. He put you number 14 as the most powerful person in boxing. I think his was most influential years ago, was most powerful. But both times, it was Al Heyman as number 1. Do you feel like Al Heyman is the most powerful or the most influential person in boxing?
In terms of having control of dates, having control of fighters, Al Heyman does have the power. But that's just the way he works. Al Heyman likes to keep all his soldiers right next to him, right behind him so he can lead the charge. I don't know exactly what he's trying to do with Showtime and with Fox and with PBC. I have no clue. I kind of do, but you know, it's pretty confusing.
Well, we want to know. Go ahead.
yeah, exactly. But just the fact that he has all those fighters under him, the fact that he has Showtime and Fox in his pocket, I think is very influential. Yeah.
Does that ever change? You think it would ever change?
Of course it's going to change. I mean, the guards always change. You know, the strongest survive, and the honest survive, and the best survives. And you know, when it comes to promoting and fighting, I have passion for it. You know, and we know how to make superstars, just the way we promoted Canelo, just the way we promoted Ryan Garcia, just the way we you know, we gave Zurdo Ramirez the opportunity with Bivol, and he didn't perform, but we gave him the opportunity. So we were on the verge of getting him to that superstardom level. So we know how to do that best. Virgil Ortiz, another one, he's coming up and he's going to be a star. Yeah. Floyd Schofield. So we have the formula. For some reason, we have the formula here in the US. We are the very best. And so all we need is our wonderful partners. All we need is the platform. All we need is our wonderful partners with DAZN to blow this out of the water.
I want to know, because in 2013, boxing it kind of like made a turn for the better. And it was because of you and Al Heyman. You guys were working together. How was it then? Was everything good back then with you guys? Well,
it's never good, but it makes business sense to work with each other, you know. It's great for the sport, but it's never good, you know what I mean? It's never, we're never gonna be friends, we're never gonna be, you know, buddies, but it makes business sense. Okay. And it makes sense because the fight fans get to watch the best fights. And I've been beating this drum over and over and over again. Look, I've been working with everybody, with Al Heyman, with Bob Arum, just to make these fights happen. You know, and that's what it takes. Okay. Yeah. Aside from all the politics, aside from all the, we have to make sure to make these big fights happen. Look, imagine if our egos got in the way, making Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This wouldn't happen. So
I might have to quit watching boxing. I couldn't take it.
Exactly. So that's why I feel very, very confident.
Yeah, I mean,
we both want this fight. We both want this fight, and it's going to happen.
And as a boxing analyst and as a fan, you know, we pray that boxing prevails, not the egos, not the powerful men, the fights. And there's enough to go around. Everybody can eat, and those fights need to happen.
Amen. Exactly. As long as, look, a lot of these fighters' mentality and managers and promoters, they think that if their guy loses one time, oh my gosh, it's over, this and that. No, it depends on how you fight. It depends on how you perform. If you're really that good, then take the risk. And if you lose, it's okay.
That's right. And guys need to fight more often. You told me years ago, we were walking in Vegas and you said, these guys need to train 10 weeks, 8 weeks. Man, I used to train 6 weeks, and that's why we can fight 3-4 times a year. Guys aren't doing that anymore. So I'm praying for the better.
Well, look, the issue is that, you know, when you have so many fighters, okay, like let's say, for instance, PBC, or even Matchroom for that matter. When you have so many fighters, you can't really focus on building up a champion, on really molding a superstar. You know, you have to have balance. Everything is balance. You know, we at Golden Boy, we focus on certain fighters that we know are going to make it, and then we position them. You know, we position them. The matchmaking is very important. We have the very best with Eric Gomez, who's going to be leading the charge now, and a couple other people I hired. But we are strategic, and we know what we're doing. And so I don't want to build champions. I want to build superstars, just to make sure that boxing is always on top, that boxing is always, you know, in the forefront of every sport.
We can't wait,
sir.
man. Thanks for taking the time as always, Oscar. We'll see you soon, man.
All right, my man. You got
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Take it easy, guy.
Introducing the new DAZN Boxing Show podcast. No matter the time or the place, getting your boxing content has become easier than ever. Tune in as we give you exclusive insights, predictions, fight night recaps, and more alongside the biggest names in the game. All for free. Available globally every Thursday across all audio streaming platforms and with new episodes dropping weekly to give you the latest news. Just type in the DAZN Boxing Show podcast, listen in, and enjoy.